Hi there, welcome to another Shimmerz video. So you may remember that in my last video I promised that I would introduce myself this time around. So my name is Kathy Bluto and I have a blog at kathyb.typepad.com if you want to go and visit me there. So in my first video for Shimmerz, I showed you some very basic techniques on how I create backgrounds for my journals. So this is part 2 of my background pages using Shimmerz, and what I'm going to show you is how I use some very basic tools that you have around the house to create interesting effects for the backgrounds. So let's get started. Hi everyone, I want to show you a couple of really quick techniques that I use with my Shimmerz. I use all of them. I use the coloring ones, I use the spritz, I use the enamels, all of them. I'll list the colors that I'm using at the end of this piece, but I just wanted to show you some really simple techniques that I've talked about before, but never actually shown you live via video. So I really like to use the sprays. They're really my favorites. It's a great way to make terrific looking background pages for your journals. Now, there's a lot of templates that you can use to spray through. They tend to be really expensive. But I found a simple way to make some great patterns using Shimmerz just from things that you have at home. So I'm going to just show you a couple of them in this video. This is the remains of some labels that I was using. So I did some labels with my logo on them to add to packages. But I thought, wow, what a great piece this will be to add to my journal pages and use it as a template basically for a pattern. So if I can get this off here, I'll show you what I intend to do with it. So, you know, this is sort of the negative part of the, of the labels. So after you pull them all out, this is what you're left with. And this is just great to use with Shimmerz. So what I do is I lay it on there, and it's even adhesive, so even better because the work is done for you. And then what I do is I give that a little shot of my Shimmerz. Now, one of two things I do here. Either, oops, sorry about that. Either I spray it on and leave it like that, or what I really like to do is just kind of even out that paint a little bit. Now, what I always tell people when using the Shimmerz is let it dry a little bit before you start working the spray, because you'll just remove all of the color if you try and remove it right away. So you see that? You can let that dry for a little bit. What I may do here on my side is just blend that in a bit, and I may even put another color over on this side. Now I know you're thinking this doesn't look like much right now, but wait till we remove that template and you'll see what I mean. So I just want to put some color on this side here. I'm just wiping off the excess, and that's a little wet here. So what I'll do is I take my Scott's towel and I just blot that a bit, and the blotting of course also gives a great effect. But I'm doing that more so that it doesn't run under my edge here. I'd like to have as much as possible a clean edge there if I can. And then once you've sprayed that on, all you need to do is remove that template. That's alright, it's going to rip. It's a one-time use, but if you've printed lots of labels, you'll have lots of these, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just ripping that away. Now look at that. How great is that for a pattern on your page? Is that great? Get all the little bits off. Now of course you could always spray 2 colors there, but I really like the look of this. Now I could either spray different colors or just use the solid color like that. And I can see some great possibilities right there with creating things around that. Could also add some color, of course, in here. That would be great too. Okay, so that's one technique. The other great technique, also one that I've talked about a lot, is what is called, I'm just going to turn this around for you like this. So this is what is called sequin waste, and this is also a great little tool for creating unbelievable types of patterns on your page. Now, really what I do with this is I normally use it on a page that's already got some background to it. So let's just spritz on some color there. This is I think my all-time favorite color. You can see it's well used. And I'm going to just spread that around. I tend to always spray and then blend my colors. So I love that blue. No matter what I do, I seem to always go back to that blue. It never disappoints me. And I'm also going to put in just a little bit of pink, if I can, around the edges. What's great about mixing the colors, I don't know how well you can see it on the video, but the pink and the blue there is turning purple, which I love. Add a bit of color here. Again, that's turning purple, which I like. And then again, I tend to blot this a little bit and even smoosh it around. Smoosh is a very technical term that I frequently use. And that way, it really blends your color and gives you a nice finish. And also, for those of us that are impatient, it also means that you can go to the next step right away. So, using the sequin waste, what I like to do is, usually in a corner, I will spray another color. This looks great in a brown, by the way. I've got, just happen to have some red here, so I'm just going to use that. And what I do is just arbitrarily spray. Now, what you don't want to do is spray in a square. You want to be creating that kind of random pattern. Let me do that again here for you. And you see what the sequin waste does? It just creates this great pattern. I don't know what it is about it that I love so much, but I do. And I use this a lot on all my journals. I tend to use it differently. Actually, I think I'm going to just do this whole page. So you see the sequin waste, what kind of effect it has. Let me just zoom in a little bit there for you so that you can see that well. Isn't that great? So there you have it. 2 very simple methods for creating backgrounds in your journal that are made so simple with the Shimmerz. So now you can get started adding some more dimension and color to your Shimmerz backgrounds. Thanks, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again soon with another video on how I use Shimmerz. Thanks, bye-bye.